Hi guys, welcome back to ladensercrochets. If you're new to the channel, you're welcome. In this tutorial, we're going to make a pair of shorts using this stitch. It's called the diamond lace stitch that I used recently to make a top. And like I mentioned, I'm going to make so many pieces using this stitch. And for our next or for our second piece, we're making a pair of shorts. You can extend this short into a pair of pants if you wish. All you need to do is adjust the height of your shorts. The measurements that we're going to need for this project are the thigh measurements, hip measurements, and the full length of the shorts. My starting chain is 57, and your starting chain should be a multiple of 10 plus 7. So I started with 57. If you want it shorter, you're going to do like 47. If you want it longer, you're going to do like 67. If you want a pair of pants and not a pair of shorts, you're going to chain more, and it should be a multiple of 10 plus 7. So it could be like 107 for a pair of pants. So grab your materials and let's get into the tutorial. I'll use medium weight acrylic yarn, then a 3.5 millimeter crochet hook, a pair of scissors, stitch markers, darning needle, and a measuring tape. I'll start with a slip knot and then chain 57. I have my 57 chains, and this represents the length of my short. This represents the length of my pair of shorts, or the height of my pair of shorts without the waistband. And this without stretching goes up to around 15.5. So that will be the length of my pair of shorts. Then to begin row 1, you're going to yarn over and count 4 chains from the hook. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Into the 4th chain, insert your hook and pull up a loop to get 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over and pull through 2. Yarn over and pull through the remaining 2 to complete a double crochet. So right here I have 2 double crochets. The chain 3 is my first double crochet, then this will be the second double crochet. Then chain 1, yarn over, skip the next chain and work into the next one, place a double crochet and work a total of 9 double crochets. So that is 1. Then into the next chain, place a double crochet into the chain that follows to get 3. Then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Then chain 1, skip the next chain, work a double crochet and place a total of 9 double crochets in the next 9 chains. So this is the second. I'll continue up to 9. We're done with the second cluster of 9 double crochets. So then chain 1, yarn over and skip and work another 9 double crochets. The next 9 chains. Then repeat this pattern until you have a few stitches remaining at the end. So I'll work the 9 double crochets, chain 1, skip 9 double crochets, and then I'll meet you at the end of row 1 to show you how to complete it. After the last cluster of 9 double crochets, we should have 3 chains remaining at the end. So then we're going to chain 1, yarn over, skip this, and then work 1 double crochet into the second last chain and 1 double crochet into the very last chain. And there we have our row 1 done. So now we chain 3 1, 2, and 3, and turn to begin row 2. That chain 3 is our first double crochet into the very first double crochet right here. Then we're going to yarn over and work a double crochet into the second double crochet, yarn over, and into the chain 1 space that we have right here, we're going to place a double crochet. So we have 3 double crochets at the beginning of that row. Then we're going to chain 1, yarn over, and skip this double crochet over here, then work into the next one and work a total of 7 double crochets into the next 7 stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So after the 7 double crochets, you should have 1 double crochet remaining before we get to the chain 1 space. Then we're going to chain 1 at that point, and then yarn over and skip this last double crochet, then work into the chain 1 from the previous row, place a double crochet. Then again chain 1, yarn over, skip this double crochet, and work into the next one. And we're going to do a total of 7. That is the first one. Then we're going to have 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we have 6 and 7. So we have that last double crochet, and that's what we're going to skip. So chain 1, skip the double crochet and work into the chain 1 space, work a double crochet, chain 1 again, yarn over and skip this first double crochet of the next cluster, then work onto the second one, 1, and we're going to work a total of 7. That's 7 double crochets, then chain 1, yarn over, skip the last double crochet here and work into the chain 1 space, chain 1, skip this double crochet and work into the next one, and then work a total of 7. And this is a pattern that we're going to repeat to the end. So I'll keep going to the end of row 2. I'm done with the last cluster of 7 double crochets, and I'm coming to the end of row 2. So I'll chain 1 and skip the last double crochet right here, work into the space, place a double crochet into it, then work into the next double crochet stitch. And those are 2 double crochets, but we have the chain stitch right here, which is another double crochet. So on top of the chain 3, we're going to place our last double crochet. So at the end, we have 3 double crochets. At the beginning, we also have 3 double crochets. Then chain 3 and turn to begin row 3. That's our first double crochet. Then we're going to have the second double crochet and the third into the third stitch. Then we're going to have an extra double crochet, which is the fourth, into the chain 1 space. So place a double crochet into that space, then chain 1, yarn over, skip this double crochet right here and work into the second one. Then we're going to work a total of 5. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then we have 1 double crochet remaining over here. So we're going to chain 1 and skip that double crochet, then work into the chain 1 space, 1 double crochet. Then we have a double crochet right here. We're going to place another double crochet, and that will make 2. Then into the chain 1 space, we're going to place a third double crochet. So between this gap and the next gap, we have 3 double crochets. So we have, at the beginning, we have 4, chain 1, 5, chain 1, 3, then chain 1 again, yarn over and skip this next stitch, then you work into the next one, and right there we're going to work the 5 double crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Chain 1, skip this last double crochet, work into the space, double crochet right there, then into the next double crochet, another double crochet, into the chain 1 space, another double crochet. So the stitches that are in the middle are 5, chain, 3, chain, 5. So we're alternating between 5 and 3 double crochets with a chain in between till we get to the end. When I come to the end, I'll show you how to finish for 3. So here I'm going to chain 1, skip a double crochet, then work into the next one. And because we've already done 3 double crochets, we're going to work 5. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Chain 1, skip, double crochet into the chain 1 space. I'm at the end of row 3 and I've just done the 5 double crochets, and then I'll chain 1, skip the last double crochet and work into the chain 1 space, place a double crochet, then a double crochet into the next stitch, a double crochet into the next double crochet, and the last double crochet on top of the chain 3 at the beginning of row 2, or at the end of row 2, that is. So right there we have the 3 rows. So at the beginning and at the end we have 4 double crochets. Then chain 3, which is our first double crochet to begin row 4 and turn. That's our first double crochet. So we're going to work the next double crochet into the second double crochet. That will make 2. Then we have 3. Next we're going to have the 4th double crochet. Then into the chain 1 space we're going to place our 5th double crochet. Chain 1, skip the first double crochet into this cluster, skip this, work into the next one, and we're going to work a total of 3. So notice that these double crochets are reducing by 2 in every row. We started with 9, then we came to 7, then we came to 5, now we are at 3. So that will be 2 and 3. Chain 1, then begin in the chain 1 space because we're skipping this first, and we're going to have 1. The next double crochet we'll get the second one, then we have 3, then we have 4 and 5. So as these double crochets reduce by 2, these are the ones increase by 2. So we are starting at 1. We started at 0, 1, 3, then 5. Then the others started at 9, then to 7, to 5, to 3. Then here we're going to chain 1, skip this double crochet, and we're going to have a total of 3 double crochets in the next 3 stitches after skipping. So that's 1, 2, and 3. Then chain 1, skip the double crochet, work into the chain 1 space, work 1, then the next one, 2, 3, 4, and the fifth one will be in the next chain 1 space, 5. Chain 1, yarn over, skip this double crochet, work a total of 3 double crochets in the next 3 stitches after skipping, like that. Then I'll repeat the pattern to the end. I'm coming to the end of row 4 and I've just done the 3 double crochets. So I'll chain 1 and into the last chain 1 space I'll work a double crochet. Then all the remaining stitches will each get 1 double crochet, including the chain 3 space. So we're going to have a total of 5 double crochets. That's 2, 3, 4, and 5. Chain 3 and turn to begin row 5. The chain 3, as usual, is our first double crochet. So we're going to have the second double crochet in the next double crochet, then the third, the fourth, and the sixth. The fifth, sorry, that's the fifth. Then the sixth one will be in the chain 1 space. So we're going to have 6 double crochets at the beginning and 6 double crochets at the end. After the 6th double crochet, chain 1, yarn over, skip this double crochet, and in the next double crochet we place 1 double crochet. So we were moving from 3, so now we come into 1. We moved from 9 to 7 to 5 to 3 and now to 1. So that means after that double crochet, I'll chain 1, yarn over, and skip the next double crochet, then work into the chain 1 space. Place a double crochet, then 1 double crochet into these stitches and 1 double crochet into the next chain 1 space, and that will give me a total of 7 double crochets. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Then again, chain 1, skip this double crochet into the next one, chain 1, skip, double crochet into the chain 1 space, and do a total of 7 double crochets into the next 7 stitches. We've already done the first one, so now we do up to 7. So this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 into the chain 1 space, like that. And now the pattern continues to the end. So the only difference is at the end and at the beginning. Now here I'll chain 1, skip the next double crochet, then work 1 double crochet into the double crochet that follows, chain 1, skip the next double crochet, work a double crochet into the chain 1 space. Then we're going to have a total of 7 double crochets. When I come to the end, I'll do a double crochet into that chain one space, then continue with one double crochet into all the remaining stitches. And that will be a total of 6 double crochets. And that's row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are done with row 5 at this point. So I'm going to chain 3 and turn to begin row 6. For row 6, the second stitch gets a double crochet, and all the stitches till we get to the chain 1 space. The chain 1 space will get a double crochet. Then after that, we'll chain 1, skip this double crochet and work a double crochet into the next chain 1 space, followed by 1 double crochet into each of these double crochets until we get to the chain 1 space. And the stitch count from here to here, from one chain to the next, should be a total of 9 double crochets. So that's the first one. And then we're going to have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and the ninth one right there. Then chain 1, skip the double crochet and work into the chain 1 space. Again, we work a total of 9, just like we did previously. So that's 1, and I'll do the next 8. That's 9 double crochets. So chain 1, skip this double crochet and work a double crochet into the next space. Work till you get into this space. 1 double crochet, a total of 9 double crochets. Then continue with the pattern to the end. So chain 1, skip this double crochet and work a total of 9 double crochets in the next 9 stitches. At the end, we're going to have a total of 7 double crochets like we have at the beginning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So now at this point, I'll chain 1, begin into the next chain 1 space, and we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So there we're done with row 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, and turn to begin row 7. So with row 7, we start reducing the double crochets. So here we had 7. We're going to start with 6. So that's 1. Then we're going to have 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So we have one double crochet remaining, but there we're going to chain one and skip it, then work into the chain one space. Again, chain one, yarn over, skip the double crochet that follows and work into the next one, a total of 7 double crochets. Seven double crochets right there. We have one double crochet remaining, so chain one and skip it, then work into the chain one space, double crochet, chain one, skip this, double crochet into the next stitch and work a total of 7. So that's one. I'll work 6 more. Chain one, skip, double crochet into the chain one space, chain one, skip, double crochet into the next double crochet, and right there we're going to have a total of 7, and we repeat this pattern to the end. At the end we should have 6 double crochets over here. I'm coming to the end of row 7 and I'm in the last chain one gap. Right there I've done the double crochet, then I've chained one and I'll skip this double crochet, then work into the next one, and we're going to have a total of 6 double crochets. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then chain 3, which is our first double crochet, and then we're going to work a total of 5. So now we have double crochets decreasing while the others are increasing. So here we're going to do, that's the first double crochet, then we're going to do a total of 5. So this is 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then chain 1, skip the last double crochet here and work into the chain 1 space. Then the next double crochet gets a double crochet. The next chain 1 space gets 1 double crochet. So that makes 3 double crochets, and this is where we begin with our pattern. Then we're going to chain 1, yarn over, skip this first double crochet here and work a total of 5. The previous were 7, so we're going to have 5. And that means we have 1 double crochet remaining at the end. Chain 1, skip that double crochet, work into the chain 1 space, double crochet into the next double crochet, and double crochet into the chain 1 space, chain 1, skip, a total of 5 double crochets, and now repeat the pattern to the end of row 7. Is it row 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's row 8. I'm working row 8. So I'll keep going to the end. I'm coming to the end of row 8. I've just done the 5 double crochets and chained 1. So I work a double crochet into the chain 1 space after skipping this double crochet. Then a double crochet into the next double crochet and a double crochet into the next chain 1 space. Then chain 1, skip this double crochet and work a total of 5 double crochets. We're done with row 8. So we're going to chain 3 and turn to begin row 9. For row 9, we reduce one stitch on this at the beginning. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we're going to have 4. So that's 1, then 2, 3, and 4. So we're going to have 4 double crochets at the beginning and 4 double crochets at the end. Then the pattern in between. So now chain 1, skip this double crochet and work a double crochet into the chain 1 space. And 1 double crochet in the next 4 stitches to make 5 because we had 3 previously. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then chain 1, skip this, work into the next one, a total of 3 double crochets because previously we had 5. At the end, I'll chain 1, skip this double crochet and work a total of 4 at the end. Then that's the end of row 9. And then we chain 3 and turn to begin row 10. We begin row 10 with 3 double crochets. So that's 3, then chain 1 and skip the next double crochet, then work into the chain 1 space and work a total of 7 double crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Then chain 1, yarn over, skip this and work into the next one, chain 1, yarn over, skip the next double crochet and work into the chain 1 space. And from here we're going to work a total of 7 double crochets. chain 1, skip the first double crochet here and work into the second one, chain 1, skip the third and work into the chain 1 space, then work a total of 7 and continue to the end. At the end, after the double crochet into the chain 1 space, we're going to chain 1, skip 1 double crochet and work a total of 3 at the end. So that's 1, 2, and 3. And that's the end of row 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Chain 3 and turn to begin row 11. We begin with 2 double crochets at the beginning. So the chain and another double crochet, then chain 1. Into this chain 1 space, place 1 double crochet, then place a total of 9 from this chain to the next one. I'm done with the 9 double crochets, so then I chain 1 and skip this 1 double crochet here, work into the chain 1 space and do a total of 9 to the next chain 1 space. Then right there, we're going to chain 1, skip the double crochet and work a double crochet into the chain 1 space. Then keep going for a total of 9 double crochets. Then repeat the pattern to the end of row 11. After the 9 double crochets at the end, we're going to chain 1, skip, and work 2 double crochets at the end of that row, which is the end of row 11. And now it's like we've gotten back to row 1. So row 11 is the same as row 1. And now we're going to repeat from row 2 up to row 11. So row 12 will be the same as row 2, row 13 will be the same as row 3, row 14 will be the same as row 4, and we keep repeating until we've repeated the 11 rows. After we are done with the 11 rows, we'll start again from 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 up to 11. I'll keep repeating the rows until I get to half of my hip measurement, and my hip measurement is 38. So I'm going to work until The width of my panel is 19 inches without stretching. I'm not stretching because I do not want a short that is too tight. So keep working your rows and let's meet once you've gotten to half of your hip measurement. This is after 36 rows and this gets me to half of my hip measurement, which is 19. So let's confirm that. I don't want my shorts to be too tight, and so I'll be measuring without stretching. If you want tight shorts, or if you want a tight pair of shorts, then you're going to measure while stretching. So from here to this point, that's 19. When I fold this into two like this, that's half of my hip measurement, and it should give me 9 point something. So now I'm going to do an extension to cater for the thigh measurements. My thigh measurements are 22. We are at 19, so I need to increase for 3 inches to get me to 22. To do that, I'll identify the part where I ended. I've not cut off the yarn yet because I'm going to use it. Then I'm going to measure from the other side, from here. And with this part, I'll measure while stretching because I want to get my fly measurements, and I'm working a fly measurement of 12, but because the 2 inches will be covered by the waist ribbon, I'll measure 10 instead of 12. So from here, while stretching, I'll measure 10 inches like that. So this is where the 10 ends, right here. That's my 10 inches while stretching. When you're measuring the fly, you have to stretch your work. Now I'm going to work my rows from this point up to this point, and I'm going to do an extension of 3 inches on this part. From here, I've already chained. Okay, I need to chain 3 at the beginning, so let me start by chaining 3. 1, 2, and 3. Then turn. And now from here, you're just going to work your rows. You might not have ended in the same row I have. So from this point, you might have to work differently from me, depending on the row that you're in. Just make sure that your rows are flowing the right way. So here I'm going to work a double crochet next. Then just repeat the rows for a total of 3 inches. So at this point, I'll chain 1 and skip the last double crochet, then double crochet in the chain 1 space, then chain 1, skip, double crochet. Remember that, like I've mentioned before, this part may not be the same as yours. So you need to determine the row that you're in and work this row the way you would work that row that you're in. I hope that's making sense. So let me do the extension for 3 inches. I'm going to end at the stitch marker. I've done an extension of 5 rows, and this gets me to the 3 inches, as you can see, and I'm done with the thigh measurements. So now I'll chain 1 and cut the yarn, leaving a long tail that I'm going to use to connect on the other side. Then I'll fold like this. Get the darning needle. Then count the number of stitches on this side. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. Then I'll count 27 on the other side from the bottom. Then I'll insert the darning needle into the 27th stitch like that. Then back into this first stitch, and that's 27. I'll sew them together. Then I'll keep sewing the stitches that correspond each other on both sides all the way to the bottom. I'm in the last stitch, the chain 3 stitches. So I'll work into that stitch and then do a knot at the end, then weave in the end that remains. So after sewing everything together, this folds in the middle row, which is the third row of extension, and this is how one of the legs looks like. This is the wrong side, so I'll just turn this to the right side. Like that. Next, we're going to do a ribbing on the waistline. Before the ribbing, we're going to work a single crochet row around the waistline, and I'm going to start from the inner part of the pair of shorts, from the inside right here. I'll insert my hook into this first row right here and slip stitch, leave an end that we're going to work over, then chain 1, go back into that double crochet row and place 2 single crochets, 1 and 2, and as I work my single crochets, I'm going to work over these ends. Then the next row will get 2 single crochets, 1, 2, then 2 single crochets into the next row, 2 single crochets in the row that follows, and each of the rows will get 2 single crochets. So go all the way around with 2 single crochets in all the rows. At the end, I have the last 2 single crochets. Then from here, we're going to make a chain that gives us 2 inches. So I'll first chain 10 and check whether it will get me to the 2 inches. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Then I'll measure this. This is actually 3 inches. I'll work with that. I'll just work with the 10. Then I'll block off the last chain and chain 1 more. Go into the 10th chain, yarn over, pull up a loop and pull through to complete a slip stitch. The next one will be a slip stitch in the next chain, a slip stitch into the 3rd chain and into the 4th slip stitch, then slip stitch all the way down for a total of 10 slip stitches. So this is 5, 6, 7. Don't be too tight. 8, 9, and 10. Then I'm going to turn to the right side. Skip the first stitch, insert a hook into the second stitch and slip stitch, and that completes our first row. Then to begin the second row, we're going to slip stitch into the 3rd stitch and turn. Then hold your work like this. After turning, we start our stitches on the 10th slip stitch that we've done. So not this one, but this one right here. In the back loop, inside the hook, you need to take your yarn to the other side. So in this, inside the hook and slip stitch, the back loop. Then the second one in the back loop. Then in the 3rd back loop, that's 3. And do this all the way to the top. Then do not miss the last one, which is this one right here. That makes 10. Then chain 1 and turn to begin row 3. Again, we're going to do a total of 10 slip stitches, 1 into each of the back loops. So this is the first one. Then I'll work all the way down. Then insert the hook into the next stitch, which is the 4th, and slip stitch. Then slip stitch into the next one and turn. To begin row 4, we begin row 4 right here in the first back loop. Then work a total of 10 slip stitches. Chain 1 and turn to begin row 5. So we're just alternating between row 2 and row 3. That means all the even rows are the same, all the odd rows are the same. So row 5 is the same as row 3, row 6 will be the same as row 2 and 4. And we're going to do this all the way around the waistline. I only have one stitch remaining, so this is going to be my last row. And so I'll slip stitch into that last stitch, chain 1, and cut off the yarn, pull the yarn through and fasten, and I'm done with one of the legs of the shorts. So this is what we have now with the waist ribbing. To complete the pair of shorts, you need to make another leg completely identical to this one. So I'm going to make my second leg, and then I'll come back and show you how to join the two in order to make the short. I have my second leg ready, and I'm going to hold them side by side like this. Then I'm going to get a stitch marker and mark the middle stitch or the middle row, which was the third row. I've done 5, so I'm going to mark the third row on one side and the third row of extension on the other side. You actually don't need to mark because you're working stitches. It's going to be very easy to join. So we're going to join on the inside part of the short like this, from the top all the way through the middle part, coming all the way to the top on the other side. So you can join with the darning needle or with a hook. I'm going to do that with a hook and single crochets. So I'll start from the top on this side in the first stitch. right here. I'll insert my hook, then I'll get the first stitch on the other side, put the hook through. I'm going to work both loops on both sides. Then I'll get my yarn and slip stitch. Then chain 1 and go back into that stitch with a single crochet. Then I'll move to the second stitch and the second stitch on the other side, do a single crochet right there. Then I'm working over the ends just to weave them in, the third stitch and the third stitch on the other side, do a single crochet. And I'm just going to attach the corresponding stitches. I'm in the 10th stitch on the ribbon part, and this is what we have so far. That is how that part will look like. And then I'm going to continue down through the double crochet stitches as I work over my ends. So in this first double crochet stitch and the first double crochet stitch on the other side, do a single crochet right there. Then we have the chain 1 stitch and the chain 1 stitch on the other side. So just attach the stitches that correspond each other. If attaching with the hook is a bit of a challenge, then do that with the darning needle. Just make sure that you align your stitches correctly. Now I've gotten to the double crochet rows, and in the double crochet rows, I'm going to work 2 single crochets. So this is the first double crochet rows that I'm joining. So 2 double crochets right there. Then I'll move into the next 2 double crochets. This one and the other one on the other side. Place 2 single crochets. Then 2 single crochets on the next double crochet row. 2 single crochets in the next row. and 2 single crochets in the last row of double crochet rows. Then in this corner I'll place a single crochet, and that will get me to the other side where we have stitches, and I'll connect the corresponding stitches all the way to the top. So right here. So at the end, I've done the last single crochet, so I'll chain one and cut off the end, pull it through. I've already weaved this in, so I'll just cut off whatever has remained. And this is what we have right now. The shorts are ready. So all I'm going to do is weave in the remaining ends, and then I'll work a drawstring that I'm going to attach to the waistband just to pull it together. I don't like how this part is looking, so I'm gotten my darning needle and some yarn. Then I'm going to stitch that part and bring these rows together. So from the inside, I'll just leave a long tail that I'm going to weave in. Then I'll bring these 2 rows together. Let's see whether it's going to work. So I'll work stitch by stitch, just pulling these 2 parts closer to each other to close up that space that doesn't look so pretty. So there, I think this looks way better than it was looking before. Then I'll take this yarn to the inside parts of the shorts and I'll weave it in. At this point, I'm done with my pair of shorts. So thank you so much for sticking around to the end of the tutorial. If you've enjoyed it, kindly leave a like, a comment, share, subscribe if you're not subscribed, and see you in the next tutorial.